Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Genevieve. Okay, let's do a set of the three dimensions, focusing on the lower abdomen. Pink circles. And reverse. And now Lee circles. And reverse. And shoe circles. shoulders. And good. So in advanced Tai Chi and Qigong theory, you're they understood, of course, that your spine is composed of the vertebrae, and there's 28 vertebrae plus the skull. So it's very, very flexible. But they also broke it down into 6 different segments. Each of those 6 segments, you can do these exercises in. Now, most people don't have that kind of control over their system. So they can't pick out section number 3 right here and do that. All right. What we're doing right now is picking out section number 1 down here, and just very gently working that. Now, this happens to be a really important segment because because this is the segment that gets injured more often than any others, right? Just because of the way that we're built. We're no longer quadrupeds. And since we're no longer quadrupeds, we don't walk on all 4 like this. Suddenly we're standing up, and that puts a strain on the lumbar area. We're not perfectly engineered to be bipedal animals quite yet. So there's a lot of strain on the lower back and the SI joints, etc., etc. So working this area here is really good for healing. It's even better as kind of a preventative medicine, keeping yourself in good shape. You shouldn't overdo it. You don't want to be hurting yourself, but keeping this area here really worked will really improve your Qigong and Tai Chi, and it will improve your health a lot. Okay, I want to try an experiment, and this truly is an experiment. I woke up in the middle of the night with this in my head. What I want you guys to do is just go into meditation here. So all your consciousness on this part of the body, and I'm going to play some music. And if you can, feel this music down here. Don't feel it coming into your ears from somewhere else. Feel it existing down here. And just feel it in this area here. And you don't have to move, just meditate on it, just feel this. All right? And we'll do it for just a couple of minutes. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. And then we'll stop the music, and I'll just see what kind of reactions you have to it. So get yourself in meditation. I'll try and turn the music on without screwing it up technically. Okay. So obviously one of Bach's cello suites. Um, as a beautiful recording. Um, it's done in one of the old churches, I think in France. I should look it up. Um, but the recording carries a lot of the feeling of the space. It's not it's not small, but it's not huge. It's got beautiful acoustics, but it's also recorded so you really feel Copley's hands too. So it's a great recording in any case. Um, any thoughts? How did it make you feel? How did it make you feel physically? Catherine, you're smiling. Tell us.
Um, it took me a while to just be in a meditative mind. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not like, oh, this is meditation, one, two, three, this is it. Maybe in another life, but definitely not today. Um, so I found it too short. I would have liked to be longer. So because I was just beginning to just
Yes.
feel my mind quiet finally, and um, um, but the it's cello.
Yes.
So the cello, especially in the grave, where I could really feel them in my belly, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right down
Um,
here. Yeah.
like a pulsation, like something pulsing um,
Wow. Very nice.
within me.
Yes.
Um, Again, it was too short. I mean, I was just like starting to, feel all kind of things, and but it's an experiment. So
It's an experiment. So yes, but I would count that as a very successful experiment. You're right. It's too short. So that was the first movement of that suite, and I think there are a couple of other movements in there. Um, and this particular recording is all six of the cello suites, so it's 2.5 hours long. Um, and he just sits down in front of his audience there, and he plays for 2.5 hours. It's an amazing evening. I'll send you the link to that. But everything that you just said, Catherine, is what I was thinking too. It takes a couple of minutes to just settle down and kind of let everything go and really be there with the music, and then suddenly it's over. But what it teaches you is the two different places of consciousness. One of which is working at a certain frequency, and it's our usual day-to-day frequency of running around doing all this stuff. And then there's this other frequency that's much lower
mm,
and much more internal. And we don't get very much time with that. Um, anyway, that's to me what meditation is about, is just slowing down. In the Taoist tradition, of which Tai Chi and Qigong are practices, what they don't really they never really quite say it this way, but what it really is, when you meditate, you're learning to stop. Just stop. Stop running all the time. Just stop and be quiet. It's that simple. You're not trying to accomplish anything. You're not trying to get enlightened. You're just letting yourself stop. And then maybe something will happen, but you just have to get to the place where you stop. Um, and then your comment about feeling it down here. That's exactly why when I woke up in the middle of the night, this was the music I was. hearing, because yes, you feel it here. You feel it, of course, here and here, other places too. But I really feel it in the lower abdomen. The cello is so beautiful. That's another aspect of this. It's just plain beautiful. The Bach cello concertos, um, in a sense, were kind of written as experiments. So they are about exploring the capacities of the cello and of the particular music. So he was not trying to write the world's greatest music, but of course he did write the world's greatest music. They're also, to me, they're incredibly emotional. You listen to them and you go, well, it's not, they're not dramatic, you know, um, it's not like Wagner, you know, with drums and cymbals and horns and drama, but they're very, very emotional. And so I tried to pick one of the suites that was perhaps a little less emotional. So just kind of moving along. You know, it's like, to me, it's like sitting next to a river and just listening to the river move along as it goes. Anyway, Genevieve, what did you think?
Thank you for the experiment. I think I have three remarks. The first one is I agree with Catherine and you about the length. Like I could definitely do this for 2.5 hours even. That was really amazing. The next comment is about singing. So I love to sing, and I've taken a lot of like singing education and stuff. And one teacher talked a lot about your body as like the resonating chamber of a string instrument. So
Right.
it was kind of perfect for that. Like that, this part of us is like the deep part of the cello.
Right.
And she talked about the pelvic diaphragm as like part of your wind instrument, if you're a wind instrument,
Yes.
or if you're a string instrument. And so that idea of like the resonating chamber with the bassist down here, that
Right.
came immediately to mind in the experiment. And I could feel like the Tai Chi baby rocking motion from yesterday.
Yeah.
And I could almost feel like the music was resonating inside of that part, just like the body was the cello.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that was really noteworthy is for several, maybe a year already, I've been feeling this really peculiar sense in like the bottom of my right foot, like almost like an electrical pulse.
Uh-huh.
I think of it as like a ringing phone. And I imagine
Uh-huh.
these days I'll figure out, you know, who's trying to call me and it'll go away. But that phenomenon is not constant. It kind of comes and goes. And it came in really strongly during this exercise. So now I'm super intrigued to do it some more and see if that
See what happens.
involves
Yeah.
more. Yeah. But it was really
Okay.
noticeable.
All right. How was the quality of the music? Because I didn't put it on share because I wanted to watch you guys and see if I could feel what your energy was like. So I was just playing it through our system here. How was the quality of the sound for you, Catherine?
Very good.
Good?
I mean, louder would have been also great, actually.
A little louder? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because we still have 15 minutes here, so I want to do it again. I'll let it go a little longer this time. We'll let it go for 15 minutes. Um, and see if you can just stay in quiet meditation through this whole time. But you could experiment, because this is an experiment. You could experiment with doing a little movement and see what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and let's just constrict this to the three movements that we've been practicing. So ping, li, and shu. You can do any of those. You can do all of them. You can do one of them. Whatever. Right? You don't have to do any of them. You can do whatever you want to do. Right? Okay, so let me cue this up again and we'll let it run for 15 minutes. It still wasn't long enough, was it? I tried to pick some music right at the beginning that was very neutral. You could tell listening to the more extended stuff we listened to that a lot of those were dances.
Hmm.
And so they're very rhythmic and they kind of bring you up and out. I tried to pick a piece that was very internal, and I think it was a good piece. It just wasn't long enough. We need a good hour of it or something like that. But even the pieces that are dancing, wow, they really resonate down here. You just really can feel it in this area of the body. So for me, the real experiment on this is what this music did to you guys, because the music will have touched a part of your body that perhaps you haven't paid so much attention to. But now that it's been touched in a certain way, your body's not going to forget that.
Mm.
And the next time we do these exercises without the music,
Mm.
there's still going to be some music playing inside. That's the actual experiment. Okay, any comments, any questions?
No,
Thank you. It was so fun.
It was fun. It was very, very beautiful. I'll send you guys the link to that recording. It's a beautiful recording. Okay, guys, have yourselves a great day. We'll see you
Thank you.
next time.
Thank you.
Ciao.